Good morning, everybody. My name is Sonja Merrild. I know a lot of you in the room, but for those of you I haven't met yet, I'm the Director of Grants for the Blandin Foundation, and also want to welcome you. I was going to introduce my team, but that has already been done. You know the fine folks in the back, Diana, Linda, and Kyle, who help us out on a daily basis doing all the work with you in grants. So just very briefly, I want to make sure I pass on a couple of things. As Brian talked about the fact that we receive all of our annual foundation budget from the trust, I want to reassure you that our commitment to paying out a minimum of 60% of that to this local community remains in effect, and that during my time here since 2012, it's actually been more like 70% of all of our funds that stay right here in our home communities, and we expect that that will continue. And then today is evidence of the fact that I know many of you know that we offer more than money, and a lot of it has to do with training and gathering and all kinds of other opportunities for development and learning together. So I want to alert you to a couple of things. There are 2 Worldview intelligence trainings coming up in March and May. For those of you who are on our mailing list, you will know about them. Those of you who are not on our mailing list and want to be on it, please see Diana or Kyle or Linda in the back. And I also want to let you know that the fine folks at the Nonprofits Assistance Fund are going to continue working with us. Glenn Northington is there. He has traveled up here from the cities to be here with all of you today. I know he and the Nonprofits Assistance Fund folks has worked with a lot of you. And as we continue that work over the next 18 months, you can expect to see more of the regular trainings that you've seen. Do you have a theme yet for the next several trainings, or is that yet to come?
We're looking at revenue sources as the beginning of 2017.
Nice.
Sources of revenue for nonprofits.
Great. And that ties in with a couple of highlights I wanted to give. One of them is that in addition to what you've seen from the Nonprofits Assistance Fund before, there will be some opportunities to engage with you and your boards to learn more about social enterprise building. And then we will have a second round of an executive directors cohort, which will also start up soon. So those of you who are not on the Nonprofits Assistance Fund mailing list and want to be, please see Glenn. He's got his pen. He's got his pen. Finally, last year when we gathered, I remember that we passed on to you a couple of observations that you had told the Center for Effective Philanthropy. We did a survey that many of you participated in and understood that there was room for improvement. So in a couple of weeks, you will see an updated board application, and you might also see some slight revisions to our follow-up, our reporting procedures. We're trying to make it easier. I promise we're trying to make it easier all the time, but there are a lot of requirements that we have to meet on our end of the table too. But wait for that, and if you have any questions about anything that I've said today here so far, just get a hold of me or any of my team members in the back while we're here this morning. So now, away from Blandin land, onwards into the land of diversity, equity, and inclusion. Many of you, in my conversations with you, I know that you apply for grants, obviously, from other foundations too, and you are often asked, so what are you doing about diversity? What are you doing about equity? How are you working on inclusion? Well, how does that show up in your work? And many of you might have said, I wonder what the difference is. What does it all mean, and what are we really looking for? And that's what Beth and Jana is here today they're here today to unpack for us. And I know it'd be a great morning. They are spectacular ladies, and they're really funny. I know it'd be a good time. So I'm just going to do a very brief introduction. Beth, who is on your right, she specializes in intercultural organization development, and especially for organizations that are working towards social change and social transformation. She's been doing these kinds of trainings for nonprofits and foundations for about 25 years, so she will be in charge of this room, I can assure you. And her fine partner, Janae Shalometh, has also been a community organizer, a consultant, and an organizational leader and educator, and has been working with diverse communities for about 30 years. She right now is the Diversity and Organizational Development Specialist for Ramsey County. So without further ado, please help me welcome Beth and Janae.